here we are back again, Final Fantasy XIV, doing the main story quest of Endwalker. Getting closer and closer to Hildebrand with every step. And we just had a little discussion with the Lollipits, or whatever, however you pronounce their name. And I'm still worrying about Puddingway. I don't know where Puddingway is. We started like fiending over Pudding and then nobody cared, and she was just wandering around fiending. So I hope she's eating pudding right now, but we haven't seen her for a minute. What am I thinking about? The medical facilities on the ship, of course. I designed them with the assistance of our sages and chirurgeons, but to imagine every illness or injury that one might face in that great expanse is beyond any of us, to say nothing of the effects that living out there indefinitely might have on the body. The crew from the moon, why did I not think of that? We have to, oh my god, we gotta find 8 of these guys. My god. Alright, that's where we just came from. I don't know how close. Yeah, there's one right there. Hiding. They're not making themselves easily known. Concerns? Nay, there's no point in worrying at this stage. It'll only make the work that go much slower. This woman seems to be coping well. Okay. Good for her. Alright, we just gotta make sure nobody's hiding behind here. Or even over there. Okay, all clear. We've secured the next target. 56 bunches of weeds in the ground. 56 bunches of weeds. Rip one out, add to the mound. 55 bunches of weeds in the... I'm not neglecting my duties, I swear. I was in need of a little break, you see, but then I found myself unable to relax at all. So I went on a walk, and then I noticed these weeds, and... Yeah, no worries, we get it. Pleasant conversation partners and oh so fuzzy? Goodness me, that does sound like a much better way to relax. Okay, we still got a ways to go. That last one didn't even count. I don't know how far out they're putting them, but better safe than sorry. There we go. The harried etherologist. Blasted assistants, where have they gone off to at a time like this? Beg pardon, but I have not the time for idle chit-chat. I need to reconfirm that ether levels are consistent throughout the vessel's machinery, and it seems I shall have to single-handedly. I swear, when I find those assistants of mine... The Loporits are willing to help? Why didn't you say so? At least they won't moan about how they checked 24 times already and haven't slept in weeks. Lazy sods. Alright, he's got an admirable work ethic. I wouldn't want to have him as a boss, though. There's one down there. Let's just make sure we got all the ones up top. Alright, looks like we're all clear here. Maybe there's another one. Yep, right over here. Occupied Administrator. How might I help you? My, what a lovely idea. I too noticed people becoming rather tense, so I rushed out to pluck some fresh and fragrant tea leaves. Now I need only track down 100 or so cups. But don't you worry, I can manage. I hope your plan to cheer everyone up goes well. This woman is doing better than you are. Alright, good for her. And then, let's see. Looks like... Let's make sure. Well, then we have another one just back around the corner. All clear. There we go. Tired Gleaner. Is anything bothering me? Well, I've been loading cargo for bells now, so my back feels like a voice sense plated as a piano. My feet and knees are drums and cymbals too. This Gleaner seems fine, if in need of a break. Alright, that's another one that seems A-okay, doesn't count. Alright, we got 2 right here. 3, wow. Hopefully these people are troubled. Okay, this person is definitely the grimacing naturalist. My face, what's wrong with my... Ow, perhaps I am a bit tense. I was tasked with ensuring that the proper fauna, and only the proper fauna, are brought with us to the moon. However, the suitability of a few species is still under debate, and I can hardly make the decision myself when I know so little about the environment up there. Including the loporits in our discussions is a wonderful idea. I absolutely will, thank you. Perhaps their biology itself might offer some clue as well. Alright, yep, we get credit for that. A ponderous mathematician. He's deep in thought. Consult our collaborators. I suppose that would be more effective than sitting here brooding. I'm attempting to calculate how much cargo we can consolidate into fewer trips, should the Etherburner make our original estimates unfeasible. But there are simply too many variables. I feel as if my brow will turn inside out. But perhaps our lunar associates will have more insight as to how much weight constitutes too much weight for our purposes. Thank you for letting me know. Alright. 3 more to go. We got the irascible administrator. This person looks troubled. Yes you idiot. Have you seen an envelope lying about? This imbecile refuses to give me the alchemic I ordered without that bloody slip of parchment. He's freaking out. He's going full Karen right now. He's gonna ask to talk to my manager. He's thinking it over. Unless your friends have a spell to make me remember where I dropped my damned envelope, I doubt they'll be more help than you. And you've wasted enough of my time already. You can't keep track of your envelope and you call me an idiot? It would be unfortunate for all involved to inflict this man upon the loporits. That is true. He is troubled, but that's a little too much trouble. Capricious researcher. Aha, haha! The end of the world is nigh, yet the work goes no faster. Schedules are such temperamental things. Feasible one moment, utter bollocks the next. I don't know what's so funny about this. Seems like a mad scientist. And yet, I've never felt so alive. And they're dancing around, yeah. Yeah, they lost it. This one is beyond your help. Only sleep can save her now. Yeah, that was the most foregone we've seen so far. 3 more. Oh man, we already met. Oh gosh, we're just going in circles now. Alright, we'll work counterclockwise then. Maybe there's somebody like hiding just right behind the bushes. Kind of, yeah, okay. Unconcerned gleaner. Apologies, but I am awaiting a delivery. Whatever it is, we'll have to wait. It seems this gleaner is too busy to chat, for his benefit or otherwise. Alright. Faked out again. And he was hidden away. I thought that was a sure thing. Okay, there's another one hiding over here. Looks like that whole area over there is clear, so we'll just stick to this section. Oh, come on. Despondent engineer. So they're definitely troubled. Just leave me to my misery. The forum can appoint someone else. I apologize. I simply don't know what to do. How am I supposed to pilot the Ark if I'm already falling apart under the pressure? You know a starship pilot that I might speak with? Truly? Well then, there's no time to waste. They can help me prepare for this monumental task. Alright. Yeah, we're not going to be able to make it. I believe. Alright. Skeptical researcher. Have you heard anything of what's going on the moon? I have no doubt that we can make it up there, but the searching for a new star part of the plan sounds awfully vague to me. I asked the forum, but they will only tell us that our collaborators have everything under control. Forgive me, but I don't feel particularly safe wandering through the sea of stars on gods know what made by gods know who. Alright, we're filling them in. I think this is going to be number 7. Come on. You mean to say that I can speak with them directly? Amazing. I hope they like questions. Alright, 2 more. We got the calm researcher here. Worries, worries. No, I believe I'm fine, thank you. I've been confiding in my colleagues and it's helped a lot. Can't recommend it enough. This researcher already has the support she needs. Alright, 1 left. Man, I thought we covered all the ground we could. At least over here. Unless somebody's hiding. And then up top, I think we covered pretty much everything too. If not, we'll just swing back. But I felt like, if anything, the missing people would be over here. Not on this side, but we'll check anyways. Go over it with a fine-tooth comb. Listen to this silly song. Alright, maybe it is up top. Oh no, no, here we go. This person. This has to be them. Hyperventilating engineer. By the gods, my chest is tight. Am I dying? Is this what dying feels like? Oh, do pardon me. I didn't see you there. There is no cause for concern, I assure you. No cause for concern, even though we may need to depart at any moment, and if the hull I designed buckles under the strain, the entire vessel may explode on launch, claiming countless lives and dooming all mankind, but that is highly unlikely. Yes, yes, highly unlikely. Highly. Our visitors can help me triple check for structural flaws, you say? Why, that would be wonderful. I'm breathing more easily already. Alright, that's it. Now to go and talk with Urianger, my least favorite scion. Behold my name. Through thine efforts, word hath thread through the labyrinthios. Verily, to a far greater number than we anticipated, living way doth gather more loporits as we speak. I shall assign each in accordance with their skills, that new bonds of friendship might be forged. Should greater matters require not thine attentions, watch over them, I prithee. Alright. God damn it, Urianger. I just dislike the way he talks, really. It's tedious.
So much in, well, in forever.
Lively, isn't it? The town is abuzz. Everyone eager to meet with our friends from the moon.
Twould behoove you to consult with Sleepingway. As our moon's pilot, his advice should be most pertinent.
I'm impressed. Truth be told, I struggle to tell one from another. No offense intended, of course.
None taken. After you and your friends left Mare Elementorum, we spent no small amount of time with your Urianger. Oh, the conversations we had. He told us all about Atheris, answered our every question, no matter how trifling or trivial. Look! Every page filled to the margins with knowledge. When I first arrived, I was struck by how little I knew. It was daunting. But then I realized that, were it not for Urianger and his teachings, we'd still be stuck on the moon, gazing at your world and wondering what we've been missing.
What would they think if they could see Urianger now? I dare say they'd be more than a bit surprised. And impressed, no doubt. Master Louisoix, Minfilia, Papalimo, and not to forget...
Oh there. Heard there was a visiting expert who we might bother with a few questions. I take it you'd be the one.
Yes, I am.
Wilson and Blovida, Sharlayan's foremost researchers in the field of teleportation magic, and Moonbreeder's parents.
It hath been some time. Tis good to see you in good health.
Likewise, old friend. Blovida and I were most honored to answer the call. Never expected this reunion, though, did we, dear?
I'll say, the nerve. Sending that letter, then running off to the gods know where. Do you have any idea how worried we were?
I'm sorry. 'Twas remiss of me not to deliver the news in person. No, more than that. 'Twas I who...
Our daughter was disillusioned after Master Louisoix left her behind. The day the Scions called upon her was the happiest I'd seen her in years. She made her every choice of her own free will. No one could have ever forced her to do otherwise. Don't blame yourself for her death. Celebrate her life. You know that's what she'd want.
If there is one thing we resent you for, it was that we could not be there to mourn her with you. Reading the words you penned in that shaky hand, we must have cried as much for you as we did for her.
I'm sorry. I truly, truly am. I knew not what to say. Knew not how to express my feelings. The poems and platitudes of wiser men, musings on sadness and loss, studied and memorized, and meaningless in the moment.
Silly boy. We are all powerless before such grief. Even now, try as I might, the words escape me. But in our hearts, we know, we always know.
I remember when you were young, how the lads teased you for choosing the company of books over others. Our moon didn't take kindly to that. Be nice to Urianger, she'd shout, and give them a walloping, no matter how many times we scolded her.
So we offered a suggestion. Rather than starting fights, why don't you be the bridge between Urianger and the others? She had to mull it over for a while, arms crossed, brow furrowed in intense thought. But from that day on, she never let you be alone. She'd drag you outside to play, pepper you with endless questions, read the same books you read, all to try and understand you that much better. I'm sure it was annoying and exhausting at the time, but she only ever had the best of intentions.
And look at you now, at the center of the crowd. The reason there even is a crowd, having brought these people together. You've no idea how proud we are.
To see the boy our daughter trusted and believed in more than anyone grow into the man she always knew he could be. I can see her in you too. Feel her. She walks with you wheresoever you go. So thank you, Urianger, for being who you are.
Man, I kind of feel bad for shitting all over Urianger before this scene. Saying he's my least favorite. He still is my least favorite, but this has made him more likable for sure.
I think I can feel her too.
At the least, I love Moonbreeda's parents, so...
Truth of her life. Not sorrow, but hope and love.
Breeder. She was important to him, wasn't she?
You could ask the man himself.
Oh, no. But watching this exchange reminds me how much I've yet to learn about your world. And its people.
You can live here your entire life and hardly learn a thing. And that's why it's too soon for this to end.
Alright, well yeah, before that I was saying Urianger is my least favorite scion. I hate him, in fact. I mean, I'm sure he'll start to get on my nerves just now, but I like him a little bit now. He's still my least favorite scion, still probably one of my least favorite characters, but that was a really good scene. I'm just still concerned about Puddingway. We haven't seen Puddingway for a while. Oh, my name. Be assured that I am fine. I am. Full glad to see them too, after so very long. Gladder still that it was in your company. As difficult as it was to accept their kindness, 'twould have been far harder had I faced them alone. Ahem, thou hast my gratitude for lending courage to the Loporrits. Not disposed to rest on their laurels, several of our guests have elected to accompany my countrymen to their stations. Some few may still come hither seeking counsel, and so shall I remain to aid them as need be. If thou art needed elsewhere, do not let me detain thee. As a matter of fact, I was hoping you might check on Alize. Last I saw, she was struggling to carry an enormous pile of boxes out the west gate. I could go myself, but we both know those who help her she's less like to scorn. Not to mention that, much to my misfortune, I can think of several other things I ought to be doing. Until later. Alright. Oh, how many more ether currents do we have? 2 or 3, I think. Damn it, it's 3. So I guess we're gonna get 2 right here, and then 3 probably for the main story quest. And then, yep, Alize's back over there. Oh yeah, we're gonna get another piece of armor also. So, let's see. Yeah, I can't open my character menu, but we're gonna give that to the Scholar. Scholar's pretty under item leveled. Oh, what am I to do? Ah, you're that adventurer who helped out the students of Baldesian, aren't you? I suppose it matters not to you, but my son seems to have run away. I thought only researchers lived here. Plot twist, he is a researcher. Ah, yes, simply put, my wife and I work at Aporia, and she happened to conceive whilst we were living here in Charlian Hamlet. I assure you, we had many sleepless nights wondering if we should quit our jobs and leave Labyrinthos, or entrust the child to a friend of ours who dwells somewhere more suitable. Ultimately, we decided to continue our work whilst raising the child here. After all, our research is focused on the very future that our offspring will inhabit. The issue is, however, that the magic that prevents us from revealing anything confidential is too potent to be used on children. Of course, we can't allow the little ones to roam freely. There's no telling what he might impart unto others. So he's spent his entire life thus far within the confines of Charlie and Hamlet. We recently had set a slight spat with him, and well, he decided to flee. I imagine me going after him would make things only worse. Could I ask you to talk to him in my stead? I'm sure he'd be much more willing to listen to, well, anyone other than his parents at this point. Thank you. Verpauline, my boy, is most likely in the plaza to the east. I cannot imagine he struck out any further on his own. Alright, we got Parents of the Year over here. We'll check in on the kid first. There's another Aetheryte current quest over there. What? Who are you? Alright. Figures would be chasing him. Good thing that other quest is right over here. Junior can wait. I mean, his own parents don't care about him. You know, I got more important things to do. You're a visitor to Charlian, aren't you? You do have a worldly look about you. As a gleaner, I too have journeyed far and wide. Tell me, where's the farthest you have ventured? I'm gonna be so mysterious right now, I cannot say. Oh, is it someplace secret? I understand. I am sworn to secrecy in some of the forum's matters as well. Aye, you should do it nicely. You see, I need a more experienced traveler to say a prayer for me before I leave for Girabanya. If you would do me the honor, the reactor operator by the tower to the south should have a lantern crystal prepared for the purpose. Alrighty then. I am not going to go home so easily. You probably won't believe me either, but I've noticed that all is not right in Labyrinthos. Why don't you try telling me first? Fine, I shall tell you what I've seen. The color of the artificial light here has changed recently. I'm sure most people haven't noticed, but when you've spent your whole life here, the difference is like night and day. Even so, no one will take me seriously when I bring it up, all because of my age. Got into a big fight with Father about it. But Labyrinthos is in danger. Who knows what would happen if the artificial sun broke? That's why I can't go home just yet. I need to get to the bottom of this first. Although, I am scared to venture outside on my own. They say there's countless monsters out there. I don't suppose you would come with me. I could pay you. It's not much, but I do got pocket money for my parents. I'll gladly take your money. What, am I a babysitter? I don't work for free. Then it's settled. Alright. And I guess we can follow up with him if we want, but I don't really want him right now. You're on your own, kid. Alright, let's go make a wish come true. And then we'll go hunt down Alize. Are you here for the crystal? I hope it does some good for that gleaner. Those folks need all the luck they can get. Lanterns light the way through the darkness, a tool which can mean the difference between life and death. They are synonymous with safe passage, and as such, it has become custom in recent days to imbue the crystals inside with the prayers of a more seasoned traveler. And today, that traveler is you. Simply face the crystal and pray for the safety of the traveler to be, if you will. Alright, let's say a little prayer. A colleague recently told me about the power of Akasa, a concept taught in Rods at Han, and how it reacts to strong emotion. I wonder if this method of praying to a crystal is a manifestation of that power. Well, that should do it. With luck, your prayers will help guide the gleaner safely through the perils of his journey. Alright, I guess we take it back to him now. Get our crystal and our, let's see, we already have, I think, 2 pieces of armor. Yeah. Yeah, and those are going to go to the Scholar. We've been neglecting him, his item level's not high enough to get into dungeons. And that's who we want to use. You know, use the Summoner for the story, use the Scholar to get into the queues. Do you have a lantern crystal for me? You have my thanks. With your prayer feeling its light, I have faith that it will keep me safe until my return. And now I depart for Girabanya. I hope your travels are successful as well as mine. Alright, just one more ether current and then we can fly. And let's go ahead and add this new equipment to our Scholar. Hopefully that gets him up to like 520, I think we're going for. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a nice little upgrade. Where are we at right now? 515. Yeah, I think we got it. 527. Alright. Looking good. Okay, let's go say hi to Alize. We haven't gone and explored that yet. That looks cool. Wonder what's inside. Wonder if we can go inside. Yeah, looks like it. It's an old engine. You know, I know they're going to be doing some quality of life upgrades. The models already look a bit sharper. They're going to apparently upgrade them a little more. They're going to do some 4K resolution packs for textures and especially equipment, armor and stuff that go on the player models for everybody. Player characters, NPCs. I don't know when they're planning on doing that. I'm assuming, you know, by next expansion. There she is. My name, what are you doing out here? No, I don't mind if you help with the boxes, but it's far from the most exciting of tasks. Are you sure? Well, I appreciate the assistance. We need to get these to Aporia. Time is short, of course, but they're full of organic specimens and samples, so try not to be too rough with them. Alphino should be waiting for us when we arrive. I'll see you there. Deliver the crate of samples to Alphino. You'll have 3 minutes to complete the task. Should you fail, return to the starting location and begin anew. Alright, these are usually pretty easy. Oh no, we're going the other way. Alright. Yeah, these are easy, just tedious, you know, you gotta hoof it. That barrier go up to the top there, or just over the little centerpiece? They got a barrier that encapsulates the whole thing here, like in the biodome. Alright, looks like he's just outside the gate. We've got time to spare. 3 minutes was a little generous. You know, if you're gonna insist that we go through this mechanic, you know, at least make it a little challenging. We're an Endwalker now. This one and the one where you have the companion that follows you, kind of. I mean, they did fix it, but that one's still tedious too. Oh, you're helping with the crates. Wonderful. You can put that there with the others. You have my gratitude, but how did you come to be involved in this? Huh, then I suppose I have Thanker to thank as well. If you're wondering why we were tasked with bringing these boxes to Aporia to begin with, so was I. It turns out that this is a base of operations of sorts. Those with final say as to what is included in the ship's manifest can be found here. Father included, I suspect. That should be everything. You carried all of that at once? Are you trying to injure yourself? Oh, hush. They're lighter than they look, and not everyone has your delicate arms. I suppose we should let someone know that we finished. Theopoldin is in the courtyard. We can report to him. Why don't you come along? You should get credit for your assistance at least. Considering where we are, we might even learn something interesting. Alright, looks like we're getting ready to head towards the center there. I'm curious. What's over there? I don't know why I keep getting these Chocobo Keep little nodes or whatever. I mean, I never use them. But better safe than sorry. Better to have than have not. Gods, it never ends, does it? What can I do for you? We brought samples from Charlie and Hamlet. Series 110, the crates are by the entrance. Ah, thank you. I had expected one of my colleagues, but we are dreadfully short-handed. Just a moment. You are Fortuno's children, are you not? Alphino and Alize at your service. You're well acquainted with Father, I take it? Quite. I've been friends with your parents since our days at the studium. I remember when you were yay-high, waddling hither and thither. Clearly, it's been quite some time since we've met. 'Tis good to see you again, wielding your father's newless, no less. You knew our parents when they were young? What were they like? Pray, spare no detail. I should like nothing more than to regale you. Alas, I am meant to be in charge here, and reams of paperwork want for submission. We can help with that, in exchange for the sort of stories our parents would never willingly divulge, of course. Very well then. There happen to be 3 sets of documents in need of delivery, so how about you each take one? Alphino, always the hustler, always the diplomat. Wait right there. You will find a forum representative wanting to collect these near the southernmost structure. I hope I haven't kept her waiting too long. Never mind Alphino and Alize, I'm sure they'll be back soon enough. Well, wherever we're going, it's not that far. I don't know why he didn't just take it himself. Or have, you know, somebody do it, delegate it, you know? We're the Warrior of Light. And Dark. Are you not are you not one of the scions of the Seventh Dawn? I thought you were meant to be working on the Ether Burner. Yeah, no, I'm just plain delivery boy. I'm also the Warrior of Light, no big deal. Theopoldin's paperwork. I was beginning to worry he'd misplaced his quill. I appreciate your help in seeing these documents to my hands at last. As for your other task, pray keep this between us, but I sincerely hope you scions succeed. The Exodus is, without a doubt, the most monumental undertaking in the history of the Forum, and so we must be circumspect in all respects. Risk is a privilege we cannot afford ourselves. At its heart, however, Charlian has ever been a nation of the curious. 'Twould be a tragedy indeed if we were the ones to stymie your pursuit of truth. Alright, I guess we're gonna meet back up, and then maybe we'll stick around for the daddy lore? I don't know. I'm so uninvested in all that. Quick and efficient, I dare say you have a talent for this work. The twins' papers only needed to be delivered elsewhere in the facility, so they should be returning any moment. We return, with not a scrap of paperwork remaining on our persons, you will note. You both have my thanks, and my apologies for sending you on an errand far below your ambitions. Why, even as a babe, you struggled out of your swaddling clothes and... That is quite enough of that, thank you. It was compromising stories of our parents that we'd asked to hear, to reiterate. Of course, of course. I've known your father for so long. I must have something. Well, as you know, part of why the Leveler named garners such respect in Charlian is your family's storied history. You two can trace your ancestry directly to those who came aboard Nierncruft's Hope, a lineage few can claim. I've never thought much of it myself. It's not as though our forebears founded our nation. They were simply there when it happened. Nevertheless, it has traditionally been a point of pride. 'Tis why Nierncrupt's pronouncement, renounce the ways of war and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason, has ever been our family's creed. Until your grandfather's time, aye. Archon Louisois looked not to Nierncrupt's words, but his deeds. He asserted in defiance of his peers that choosing to save the great and the small from the rising tides was the true mark of our founder's virtue. Perhaps it was his expertise, his knowledge of ancient prophecy and the fall of civilizations, that led him to conclude that to eschew conflict at every turn was to consign mankind to his doom. There will ever be conflict and calamity will follow. Thus, to ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. You remember his words well. Indeed, Archon Louisois lived by that personal creed and used every means at his disposal to bring succor to those in need, Charlian or no. No one loved or admired your grandfather more than his son. Yet Fortunato could not reconcile Louisois' deeds with the philosophy of their forebears and his peers, a philosophy in which he believed so fervently, yet made a pariah of his father. Fortunato agonized over this contradiction for much of his life. God's father. A son may carry his father's blood, but his choices are his own to bear. Is it not always thus? Gods know Fortunato's a cranky old goat, so I'm sure you butt heads often enough. Yet even so, you must know that you're constantly in his thoughts, every moment of every day, and that is not an exaggeration in the slightest. You should have seen him when you were born. Barely recognizable, he was, with a kind of dumbfounded grin I'd not seen since he first took a fancy to your mother. He was practically skipping when he told me the news. Take my word for it, he loves you to an embarrassing degree. But he is also frustratingly single-minded. Once he's decided that a given action is for the best, he will stay the course no matter who or what opposes him. A profoundly annoying habit when you're on the other end of it, as I'm sure you will agree. I'll say. Thank you for your insight. When next we meet our parents, I shall mention that we spoke. Try not to get me into too much trouble now. I need the forum on my side. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back to work. I have to make sure those specimens you brought make it to their proper places, or the cranky old goat will have my hide. We can speak again later. Alright, we get a little loot out of that. Probably put it on the scholar, his item level's a little low. We're going to want to use him to get into queues. Hail, you three! Graha, surely Kokol hasn't driven you out of the forge already. For better or for worse, no. However, he has set me a task that requires more than my single pair of hands, and here you are. I could use at least one of you, but I won't object to more. Unfortunately, Alize and I have prior commitments, and we have delayed too long as it is. What about you, my name? Can you spare the time? Perfect. This shouldn't take long. Alright, hanging out with Graha again. In the event that our, and I quote, promised heap of adamantite falls right out of the bloody sky and into my lap, Master Kokol wishes to be ready to put the proverbial hammer to anvil at a moment's notice. To fabricate these parts, however, he needs the flames in Kokol's forge to burn hotter. He sent me to increase the amount of ether being funneled to his furnaces. The flow of fire-respected ether in Labyrinthos is regulated by an elemental reactor south of here, to which I have borrowed the key. The adjustment will require 2 people to carry out safely, but I can explain the process when we arrive. This is where we part, then. We'll see you in Charlie and Hamlet once the adamantite arrives, if not before. This way, then. Alright, hanging out with Graha again. When do we get to go inside this thing? This thing at the center. Sorry about that, just got a phone call here. Like I will have to take off. The reactor is housed within this facility. I'll be the one to go inside and adjust the fire ether output. When I do, a rather large amount of water-respected ether will issue from the vent at top. I expect this to attract at least a few elementals, which we would both not be drawn to in the reactor itself. Trust me. Can I ask that you put down that any draw too near? They'll pose you little trouble, I'm sure. Wait here if you would. Alright. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to take off for now. It's unfortunate. But I did see a couple people in here, probably both bots either way. Thanks for watching. All are welcome here. And yeah, I'll be back later. Have a good one.